friends. How is everybody? It is Tuesday Triumph time. Yay! It's like our favorite day of the week, isn't it? Get myself moved around here. I've not been in the dining room for a while, like since Christmas, before Christmas. I've had the Christmas tree thing going, so I've not been in here in a while. Hello, Helene, my friend. How are you? It's good to see you. Good to see ya. Today's been a fun day. Hey, Debbie, my friend. How are you? We'll give people some time to get in here and get to visiting with us. Hey, Linda and Michelle. This is like the old gang back together again. You had a good day at the barn. I hope you didn't overwork. Sound like you're working hard. Hey, Rita, how are you? Sound like you got a lot of hard work done to me. I've been in barns. I know what they're like. Hello, Janae and Susie and Brenda, my sister-in-law. How are you? And Judy. No Christmas decorations around the room. Nope. My squirrels here and my regular knickknacks and the cat food dish. You did, and it hurt. Oh, bless your heart. Hi, Jan. Happy Tuesday, Terry. You're getting snow Wednesday night, Sarah? Well, guess what? You're sending it to Arkansas. The best, gosh, they just keep changing the forecast. Hi, Betsy. The best that I can tell and the last that I've heard where I'm at, we're supposed to get like 3 to 5 inches Thursday night. So that would time out about right. But now, Sarah, you squeeze all that snow out of the clouds you can before you send it to Arkansas. But 'tis the season. Hey, Judy, my friend, how are you? Proud you got on here tonight. We got a lot of good stuff going on tonight. I'm proud you tuned in. Judy's one of my Marshall people here local. So I'm hoping we'll have some new people join us tonight. If you're listening and you're new, don't be shy. Jump in and say hello. Hey, Dee, how are you? Dee's my other sister-in-law. Lots of cobwebs and more shelves to be mounted. Helene, I remember when I was a little girl, we went down to you finally made it to a live. Yay. Hey, Gwen. I was a little girl, and me and Mom and Daddy went to the barn. And Daddy said, now I'm going to move a bale of hay, and y'all swat at mice. I was absolutely horrified. Not that I was swatting at mice, but that there was mice running at me. Hey, Maura, our sock lady. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, have you been here before? Hi, Becky. If you're brand new, say I'm new or something, let me know. We've been meeting here on Tuesday Triumphs for, I think it was like a year in October, I think. I could not believe it's been that long. But we've been getting together here for a while, and we're just like an old coffee club. We come and almost always sit around my dining table. You have just been a while. Well, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Oh, you need barn cats are wonderful. Absolutely. It's better than Daddy moving a bale of hay and yelling whack 'em. It was like true life whack-a-mole. I don't think I done much whacking. I was too busy squealing and running. If you don't know me and you're watching and hadn't said anything, my name is Lynette Whiteside, and I'm the Community Care Coordinator for the Holy Mess. And it's a blessing to be here with my friends and yet to be friends. You just did the 3-day diet. Are you going to sign up and do it again? Kathy, do the challenge. I love the 3-day diet. Absolutely love it. I've got so much stuff to talk about tonight. I kept saying, well, this is good, this is good, this is good. Where do I start? So we'll start with the 3-day diet. Judy, I know most of these ladies on here have done the 3-day diet. I don't know if you have or not. The 3-day diet was one of my earliest experiences with the Holy Mess, and I absolutely loved doing it. And I have got stuff everywhere. I pulled out all of my files and everything. Hey, Rita, that's my other sister-in-law. I got my 3 sister-in-laws here with me tonight. Rita and Dee, Sarah Creech, our friend on here, she's in Oklahoma too, like y'all. And she says she's supposed to get snow, and I told her for y'all to squeeze it all out before you send it to Arkansas. The 3-day diet plan. This is what the traditional 3-day diet plan is. My copy's a day or 2 old. It may have been updated a little bit. This is a free challenge. I love doing the 3-day diet. We do it together, and it is so much fun. It is absolutely a blast. The enrollment is open now. It's a free challenge, and when we say challenge, we're not competing against anybody. It's a challenge with ourselves. And can I do it? Yes, because here at the Holy Mess we can do hard things, and we are doing hard things. The 3-day diet, day 1, I need more arms. I need an octopus. Day 1 is January 27th. Day 2 is January 28th. And day 3 is January 29th. And this is one of the printables. If you can print it off, it's a great thing to do. It helps me keep my mind straight. It is so much fun. The group is a blast. I love the group because you can get on here and say, I couldn't find any pears at my store. What can I eat besides a pear? Or just whatever. That's just an example. I personally don't eat peaches, so I'm more apt to substitute an apple and a pear. But the winter wellness, and again it says challenge, but this is more of a planner because we have got so much. Yay, Elora has done it several times, I know. And she's like me. She's excited every time she's done it. We've got so much going on here at the Holy Mess all year long, but we're getting off to a running start. Some of us have just, in fact, 150-something of us, I think, just finished a month or 2 month, depending on when you joined, challenge called Slay the Scale. And we had an absolutely beyond wonderful time. My crazy chihuahuas got in there. Hey, my friend Crystal, how are you? My crazy chihuahuas got in on the yoga action, and we just had so much fun. So we're coming out of that challenge, and some of us didn't quite hit our goal, and some of us exceeded their goals, and I applaud everyone for that. In the winter challenge printable, it's 4 pages, but I print mine front and back. I am good, Crystal. I am blessed. There's a little bingo type game. I've still got 2 things to do, but if you get all of yours done, send it to them. You can email it to them by February 15th, and there will be a prize. Now, I won't enter, but I want you guys to. And the doables on here are fun. It's what we're doing. Slay the Scale was awesome, and Maura made it even more fun with her socks. One thing, like I have done here, mark a Holy Mess event on the calendar. I've got my 3-day diet marked down. I've downloaded the I Can Do Hard Things Bible reading plan and journal. I submitted a recipe, but I must have goofed up somewhere along the way because it never arrived. So I've got to redo that one. So I didn't check it off because I didn't want to lose it in my mind. Watch a Holy Mess video. Yes, I watch Holy Mess videos too. Where can you find the winter wellness? There is a link here. You can also Google the Holy Mess Winter Wellness Challenge. If Terry's still on here, she might can post the link for us too. I can't do that while I'm live. But this, Jan, for my scatterbrain, girl, you know how scatterbrained I am. This is a definite must for me. Join the 3-day diet challenge. I've done that. And yes, I do watch Holy Mess videos. And ones without me. So learning is a lifetime thing. Share the Holy Mess with somebody. I've shared it on my Facebook page. I've shared the 3-day challenge. I need to share it again. share a photo of the Holy Mess recipe you've done. Now, I've not done that I mean, I make the Holy Mess recipes all the time, but I have not shared a picture. Hey, Suzanne. Slay was amazing. We've had a blast. Join the Motivated by Grace challenge, which is through Faithful Finish Lines and the Holy Mess. And it's a week-long challenge. It started this week. Oh, here it is. And it kind of gets up in our feelings about food, but I'm keeping up with it. I've been writing. I'll be honest, the shame spiral, where you talk about your problems you've had with food, I thought about it all day before I filled out my page. And I've still not finished today's. I'm having to think about a few things. So it is this week. It's not too late to join. You can still get in on it. And it's free, 100% free. And the last thing is download a Holy Mess meal plan. Leave a comment or a review. So if you join the free 3-day challenge, that marks a box. If you download the meal plan, that marks a box. And if you write it on your calendar, that marks a box. You've just bingoed. So this is just a fun way of keeping up with things. In February, and this is just a preview of everything coming, in February, starting on February 13th through the 15th, there is a discounted open enrollment for the anti-inflammatory food plan. This is not the plan, the final version, but the plan is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I've been trying to follow more of the guidelines, and I'm feeling much better than I was 3 months ago. Along about 3 or 4 months ago, I ate more processed foods than I do now. And since I've gotten back toward whole foods, I've been feeling much better. So, and I do know, like with Thanksgiving and with Christmas, what are the dates? The Holy Mess 3-day diet plan, it's open now. You can sign up for it now. And it runs the 3 days, the 27th, 28th, and 29th of January. And by the way, I'll be doing a video, special video, on Thursday the 23rd that I'll tell you some tips and tricks, and I want you to tell me some of your tips and tricks. Then I'm going to go grocery shopping on the 25th and show you what I had to buy and what I already had in my pantry. You'll be surprised what you've already got on hand. Oh, for the anti-inflammatory, that releases early, the open enrollment, or early enrollment starts February 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's the discounted days. And also, during this time, we are enrolling for the Back to the Basics Challenge, which is the whole month of March. Our founder, Sarah, will be leading that. And I'm excited for that because you know what? Sometimes you really just have to get back to the basics of things. For the 3-day diet, that's our next challenge coming up. I've already been answering some questions that people have asked. There is a plant-based version like this, and then there is the traditional version. Now, most of the questions that I have had about the 3-day diets is, I can't eat dairy, can I participate? Or I can't eat eggs, or I can't eat whatever, can I participate? Absolutely. This is nothing wrote in stone. In fact, there is a bundle that is something you can purchase. And it has, mine's in a binder because I'm messy. It has beautiful recipes in it. And it has a swap list for what you can swap out. But with the 3-day diet challenge, even if you have to blend plans, like for instance, if you don't eat eggs, but you don't want to do the plant-based, you just don't want to eat eggs that day or can't eat eggs, you can swap something that's like an egg. For like I use the example, like I don't eat peaches, but I'll eat pears or apples. I'm highly allergic to beef, so anything that calls for beef, I'm using turkey, chicken, or pork. So absolutely, and anything that has eggplant, I need a week's notice because our only grocery store in our little town has no eggplant at any time of the year. So I have to drive an hour to obtain an eggplant. So, like for instance, that might be something I'd throw a zucchini at. So you can make like swaps. I think that's about all of our challenges coming up, and everything else I've printed off pertains to what we're going to talk about tonight. So, oh, food find. You ever bought this stuff, the Minute Maid Zero Sugar Fruit Punch? Oh, it's so good. It has 5 calories, which I do not count, in 8 ounces because this does me a day or two. And the reason this is empty is I poured it up into a water bottle. This was a hint water bottle. And it tastes like Hawaiian Punch, kind of, but it's 0 sugar. Yum, yum, yum. I did try the lemonade, and I didn't care for it. It had a special wang that I didn't like. Excuse me. Like I got strangled. At Aldi today, I've heard of jackfruit. Have you ever heard of jackfruit? We don't grow any jackfruit in Snowball, Arkansas. Or if we do, we don't know that's what it's called. But I have heard that jackfruits, and if you can see this little picture, that's kind of what they look like. I have seen them in stores. I've never bought one because I don't know how to cook one. I'll have to learn. You have. Did you like jackfruit, Kathy? And how was it prepared? It's like a meat substitute, is what I have understood. But at Aldi today, they had pulled jackfruit. This is ready to heat and eat. And this is the lightly seasoned flavor. And this is the sweet barbecue. Oh, your daughter's vegan. So that's, yes, definitely you have had the jackfruit. Well, with me being allergic to beef, I eat a lot of vegan options. The Aldi also has a taco filling that's vegan, and I love it. It tastes like meat to me. But a serving of this is the whole package, and it is pretty good. All right, I'll be looking forward to trying it. This is an 8-ounce package, so this is a serving. You can see it's nice and thick. Can't see through the bottom. I thought we might get a peek of it. And it has 130 calories, just 4 grams of protein, which is not that high, and has 14, hey Mary, has 14 grams of fiber. That is awesome. And this does not have any added sugar, and the barbecue does have added sugar and 100 more calories than this. So I would probably split this into like 3 meals. But I'm anxious to try that. So that's my new foods for the day. Yes, Kathy, at Aldi. I had never seen the pulled jackfruit before. And it wasn't like where the vegan stuff is usually at, like down the taco aisle. It was over in their special finds. And and it wasn't that high, like, I'm going to say like $2.28 a package. It wasn't crazy high. Not bad at all. It was cheap enough I bought both of them to try. Yeah, especially for your daughter. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? I had so many announcements. Oh, I've got one more announcement. Well, hey, Pat, how are you? Proud you joined us. I've got one more announcement. Y'all remember back last, I don't remember if it was June or July. I don't know, Crystal. I'll have to let you know when I try it. Last June or July, when I was blessed to be on the cover of Woman's World magazine. That's just the craziest thing I ever heard of. Just a old hillbilly like me. But they told my story of losing 300, and it says 59, but 360 pounds with Weight Watchers. And they contacted me again back in November, And in next week's issue, the date on the magazine will be January 20th. It's not the one that's out now. It'll be next week. They're featuring my story again. Now, I definitely won't be on the cover, but they're using
Just FYI, Aiden is coming down Granny Creek.
Okay. My dogs are going to bark when my daughter's boyfriend gets here. Her fiance. Excuse me. Fiance. Thank you, Miss Pat. But anyway, they contacted me and wanted to know could they use part of my story about you can start exercising at any point, and what I called exercise early on, which was just walking through my house, getting up and getting dressed. You know, some of the first walking I done outside was walking to the garbage can at the end of the driveway. And just being able to walk through my house. And then that progressed into I could walk through stores without using the cart, and getting to where I didn't have to use my walker and rollator anymore. So I'm not sure exactly what the story is going to be, but there's supposed to be a snippet in there. So I was tickled. I'm always proud to share my story because I give God the credit for it, and I want Him to always be reflected in it. So tonight and puppy yoga. Now I can do puppy yoga. Back in those days, if I got down in the floor, I was there to stay. Now I can do puppy yoga, which is very interesting for those of you who have not done yoga with 3 chihuahuas that often get in fights. So tonight, this was a reader request. Where do you get started? Where did I get started to lose 360 pounds? I'll tell you this. I did not walk in Weight Watchers. I barely could drag myself in Weight Watchers. I did not walk in my first Weight Watchers meeting and say, I am here to lose 360 pounds. Had no clue. I had been a part of Weight Watchers before. I say I'm a successful failure because I failed many times before I got my head on right. And that's where your battlefield is at. I always looked at food as an enemy. And through the Holy Mass, I've learned that God can use food to heal me. Food is not my enemy. The battle is in my brain. And that's where we have to get our mind set. So when I joined Weight Watchers, I felt like at night when I would go to bed, a little bit more of me died. And I hoped I would see morning. And each day, it was the same thing. And I just kept getting weaker and weaker. And I had that winter, I joined in June. That winter, I had been sick all winter. I wouldn't no more than get over a cold till I'd get another one. And I literally felt myself die. So that was my why. That is one of my favorite affirmations, Maura. Layla, hush. Y'all know my Layla. God can use food to heal us, and food is not my enemy. It wasn't. I was my own worst friend. It took me a long time. And where do you start? I started by saying, I have got to be better. I'm going to die if I don't be better. So my first goal, I went and I said, if I can just get under 400 pounds, I'll be better than I am now. So that was my first goal, was to weigh under 400 pounds. And then when I got there, I said, well, you know what? I might get to 350. And when I got there, I said, I might could get to 299. And on it went, baby steps at a time. And I counted every 10 pounds like a new decade. It's like, oh, that's a new number. I've not seen that before. I've not seen that. Hi to the fiance. I think you did. I don't know the difference if you didn't spell it right. So that was my why. My why was I was going to choose to live, because otherwise I am firmly convinced I would have been dead by now. And those that know me on the street can attest to that I was in very, very poor shape. So when you're starting out and you're saying, where do I start? It is so overwhelming. And I can't tell you all I've learned in over 5.5 years, and I still learn every single day. Sophie's looking for, she's 20, how wonderful. She's looking for the barking dog. I'll send her to you, Linda. So, establish your why. And your why is an anchor. If you think about that, if you think about why boats drop anchors, it's so they stop drifting. So your why is your anchor. And your why is personal to you. Everybody's got a different why. I used to wear a size whatever jeans. I'd really like to wear that size again. That's fine. That's a valid why. My knees and hips hurt. I would like to be able to get around better. That's a valid why. I've had a lot of people join when I was leading Weight Watcher workshops because they had an upcoming event, a vacation, a cruise, a wedding, something they wanted to look better for or to feel better for. So the first step is establishing why. Why do I want to choose better? Why do I want to eat healthier? And for those of you that's never been on a Tuesday Triumph before, the D word around me is diet. No, thanks, you don't want her. I wouldn't let her go anyway. The D word for me is diet. I will not say I am on a diet. Now, the first 2 or 3 years of my Weight Watchers journey, I considered myself to be on a diet. And I realized I needed to stop saying that because the mindset was all wrong. To say that I'm on a diet implies that someday I won't be. And I truly learned in my mind what I've heard people said all the time is you have to change your behavior. I've said that before 1,000 times. You know, I said it with my lips, but I never meant it. And then I learned slowly, one bite at a time. And you know what? I've had even doctors say, how did you get to weigh nearly 500 pounds? One bite at a time. So how did I lose 360 pounds? Same way, one bite at a time. I had weeks I gained weight. I had weeks and weeks I stayed the same. And I had weeks I had a really good weight loss, and some I thought I had lost great and I didn't. I lost like 0.2. And I had setbacks and I had discouragement. But the difference this time for me is I would not quit. Quit was struck from my vocabulary. So when you decide this is something and it's a brand new year, everybody goes on a D, the start of the new year, we've got to lose those Christmas cookies somewhere. So it's okay to say that right now. You have an anchor on your Pandora bracelet to remind me. I like that. I have an anchor hanging in my dining room that I painted Weight Watcher blue to remind me. So it's okay to place reminders in your life. This is Layla. She's 5.5, 6 pounds of Chihuahua terror. Yes, never give up. And there's been many times. It is a process, absolutely. And just like I said, I lost it one bite at a time, just like I gained it, one bite at a time. So when you're starting out, first establish why. Why do I want to lose weight? Okay? And there is, you know, people say, well, that's not a good reason. That is absolutely, I used to tell my daughter, nose on face, none of your business, none of their business. Your reason is your why, and it's important to you. Helene said blood work was not as good as she wanted it to be. Yes, that's, which speaking on that, before I lost weight, I used to take 4 shots and 8 pills a day just for diabetes. And I'm no longer considered diabetic. I'm considered to be in a diabetic remission, meaning that if I were to gain weight back and if I were to start making really bad choices, now that does not mean I don't eat cake now and then, but if I reverted back to the old me, my diabetes would probably come back. That was one of my first goals, is I don't want to take shots every day. I don't want to take 8 pills just for diabetes. I don't even want to be diabetic. That was when I started seeing medicines go away. That was super encouraging. So start with a first goal that's realistic. Like I said, I did not walk in to Weight Watchers and say, I want to weigh 125 pounds. I don't even remember when I weighed 125 pounds, probably like second grade. I had never weighed that in my remembrance anyway. So that wasn't even my goal. My goal was I just want to live. And if I could get down under 400, I'll take it any day. So that was a realistic goal. Now, just because you set a goal doesn't mean you can't change your goal. If you say, I want to lose X amount of pounds in X amount of time, and you see that, you know what, I'm not going to make it, it's okay. Say, you know what, I'm not failing because I am losing. I need to back up and reevaluate my goal. And think about all the hard things you've done in your life that you didn't do it the first time and you didn't do it the second time, but maybe that third or fourth time you got it right and you learned what didn't work the first time, the second time, the third time. Losing weight is the same way, and getting started is the same way. I made bukus of mistakes along my way. Crystal says her reminder was to keep going. Today was you got your ring size. That's awesome. That's awesome, Crystal. And see, those are important milestones and goals. So once you've identified your why, set a realistic goal. Many years ago, Weight Watchers used to focus on 10%. And you definitely start reaping health benefits with a 10% weight loss. But they've also discovered just a 5% weight loss makes a difference. So, you know, set a goal. If you're 220 pounds, I'm just grabbing that number out of the air, say, I'd like to be in the Wonderland. And that's your first goal. That's a realistic goal. That's beautiful, Crystal. Now, what are you going to do to get there? That's what everybody wants to know. I could, doing Weight Watcher workshops, predict the success or failure of 9 out of 10 people. If about the 4th week they came in and said, if I ever see another salad and baked potato and chicken breast again, and I'm like, why are you eating salad, baked potato, and chicken breast 3 meals a day? Well, because I'm on a D word. That is not the approach I had. My approach has always been, if I could eat anything in the whole wide world right now, what do I want? I still do this today. What do I want? Because why would I want to eat something I don't want and lose calories or points on something I don't even want? So let's say it's pizza. I figure out how I'm going to have that with the least amount of calories and points. And whatever I eat, track it, even if it's not pretty. If it's a handful of pecans, which is about a cup, and I eat that, track it. Because not tracking it makes your mind think it didn't happen when your body knows it did. And that's one of the affirmations that I learned from Sarah here at the Holy Mess that just blew my mind. And it was such a simple affirmation, is my body is counting it whether I am or not. And, you know, you'd think that's obvious, but nobody had ever told me that. You know, it doesn't matter if you write it down wrong or write it down right, but it's not really right to what you ate. I'm only hurting myself. If I put down I ate a cup of something and I ate 3 cups, like ice cream for instance, I'm only hurting myself. I wasn't hurting Weight Watchers, and they didn't care what I put down, but my body cared and my body counted. So focus on small, sustainable changes. And I really like to pick one thing a week and work on that. I still do that to this day because I learned once you get to your goal weight, you still got to keep doing what you're doing now, or you will fall back and revert. That's for a whole other time. That's a whole other story. Uh, so make a small change. Say, every day this week I'm going to swap a dessert for a fruit. That's an excellent swap. Every day this week I'm going to write down what I'm eating. I'm going to count my calories. Yes, Janae, that was I don't know, it's just like somebody swatted me between the eyes with a board. Even if I act like it didn't happen, my body counted it, and it did happen. And I've also heard Sarah say that most of us with a weight problem also has a denial problem, and that is so true. It's like, I didn't eat 5 Hershey Kisses, I ate 1. Okay, yeah, you may have put 1 down, but we all know you had 5 while you was writing that 1 down. You know, my body knows that. So make a sustainable change. I had one person in workshop lose a ton in like 2 weeks. I'm talking like 15 pounds or something in 2 weeks because she drank 6 Pepsis a day and quit drinking 6 Pepsis a day. Do you know how many calories 6 sugar-laden Pepsis are in a day? That's a bunch. So she swapped them for diet and lost a bunch of weight right off. And I'm sure her kidneys thanked her. Do I exclude diet soda from my daily repertoire? Absolutely not. I like my Coke Zero, and I don't drink it all day long. I have 1. Yes, slowing down helps so much. Absolutely. So focus on a small change. Have a vegetable with every meal. Swap a dessert for a fruit. Start adding in, as your body allows it, extra. I shared this during the sleigh with the girls over there. I had read an article, and they were talking about like we take a snack break. You know, like if you're at work, or like if you're shopping, you know, it's like, I need to sit down and take a little break. They call them, let me get it right, snacker size. Instead of a snack break, an exercise break. So don't think about how you're going to work out. Think about how you're going to work in something extra. And I really like that way of thinking, because if you tell me you're taking something away from me, I'm like snapping at it like a little kid, like gimme, don't take it away. So if you tell me I can never eat chocolate again, I promise right then I'm going to say, I'm out. What I need somebody to tell me is how I can eat chocolate the rest of my life and still lose weight and still maintain a healthy weight. So do not over restrict yourself. And if you think of, if I could eat anything I want right now, what would it be? And a hamburger comes to mind. Think, how can I eat a hamburger as healthfully as possible? And eat your hamburger, document your hamburger, and enjoy. Sit and savor it. Changing eating habits to be healthier. I learned along the way that I was a bulk eater, meaning I wanted a lot of food on my plate. Now, as my size has come down, my portions has come down, my points have come down. I don't get as many points as I did over 400 pounds. I just get 23 a day unless I'm on maintenance, and then it's 29. So I usually stay 23 to 29, somewhere along in there. So, you know, changing is going to happen along the way. I don't think any time ever before when I had tried to lose weight that I thought change was okay, because I guess, you know, like all these fad diets we've all done, and they say for breakfast you eat half a grapefruit, 2 eggs, and whatever. For lunch you eat a can of tuna, another egg, and a banana. You know, we're given something that tells us exactly what to eat, and don't look left or don't look right. Well, what if I don't want an egg that morning? Um, have you bought a dozen of eggs lately? I bought a dozen today. What if I don't want an egg that morning? What if I don't want tuna at lunch? Why should you force yourself to eat something you don't want? Say lunchtime gets here and you want a turkey and cheese sandwich. How can I have a turkey and cheese sandwich as low point, as low calorie, and as healthful as possible? So I learned to prioritize food. What means the most to me? What can I do without? And what do I have to have? Most of the time, I can do without cheese on a sandwich, but occasionally I want a piece of cheese on a sandwich. So when I buy cheese, well, actually I do 2 things. I either say I'm investing in some really good cheese and I'm going to enjoy it, or I buy the lowest calorie, depending on my shopping at the time. Planning is so important. Now, when I first started this journey, I was not a meal planner, and I am a haphazard at best planner now. But one of the things we talk about here at the Holy Mess is creating a yes zone, making your environment work for you, having a backup meal on hand at all times. In other words, for me, if you say I need to have a backup meal on hand at all times, that means I've got a meat that's already cooked that I can throw in the refrigerator, or throw in the refrigerator, can't cook in that, throw in the microwave, or I've even got a meat prepped ahead. I've got steamable vegetables I can pop in the microwave. I've got fresh fruit in the house, or frozen fruit. Meal prep, yes. I am way better than it was before, because you know you're going to eat when you come home at the end of the day. If you've been at work, or if you've been shopping, or whatever you've been up to that day, you know you're going to eat that night. So the question is, am I going to come home and fix what's quick that's not healthy, or am I going to have food there ready to fix that is quick? Now, I wanted to get into this, but we may have to save some of this for next week. This is all too good. Why do we fail? For me, I had an all-in, all-out mentality, which meant I was either eating healthfully and following my plan, or I had my hands up in the air and saying I quit. I didn't give myself grace. I didn't let myself live life. Oh, I love food choppers, absolutely. And you can get some aggression out with some of those choppers. Take that, you bell pepper. That's one of the hardest things to jump over, that hurdle, is the all-in, all-out mentality, because we use that D word so much. So, you know, if you're just starting, or you're dusting the seat of your pants off and restarting, that's okay. If you restart 1,000 times, that's okay, as long as you start one more time, then you failed. So, it's okay. And like I said, these were words nobody had told me until I found the Holy Mess, that diets are restrictive. Don't take something away from me. Tell me how I can have that and eat it. How can I eat in moderation and not eliminate? Our friend Crystal is on here. And Crystal, I remember something you told me probably a year ago. Deprivation leads to desperation. See, we all share. I learned from y'all. And that's an affirmation I learned from Crystal, one of our readers. Anytime we deprive ourselves of something, we will at some point overindulge in that. Now, that does not mean I eat an oatmeal raisin cookie every single day of my life. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. So I learned to plan for it, prepare for it, and sit down and savor it. Yes, if I'm going to have an oatmeal raisin cookie, and into my life cookies do come, I'm going to say, okay, I have enough points, I have enough calories that I can have a cookie. And I eat my cookie. I eat, just a little secret here, I eat something chocolate every single day and track it and go on. If you told me I could never, ever, never, ever, never have chocolate again, I'm going to immediately want to eat a chocolate bunny or something. So don't be too restrictive. Instead of thinking, what can I cut out, think, how can I include this? Or how can I change how I cook it? Or how can I eat a smaller portion? Unrealistic expectations make us want to quit. Stress eating, we've talked a lot about that, and some of these we can dive deeper into later on in other Tuesday Triumphs if you want to. The Holy Mess website, theholymess.com, has tons of free resources available that has helped me so much. I pulled 2 or 3 of my favorites to show you. And like I say, these are free printables. The self-sabotage quiz. And this helps you dive deep into your mind about, am I setting myself up to succeed or am I setting myself up to fail? One of the questions, I'm just going to randomly point my finger, and I landed on, I believe that people who are naturally thin have fewer problems than people who are overweight. And it gauges you gauge your response, you total it up, and it tells you how much you're self-sabotaging yourself. And you know what? I've taken this quiz in the last 3 years, probably 3 or 4 times. The first time I took it from my old mindset, and I scored the absolute positively worst score you could get. I mean, like all the way the worst. And that was with my old mindset. Then I took it with where I was coming at that point in my journey, and it was half of the number. And I took it again and a few months later, and that number had fallen again. And what that shows me is that I have grown. So if it's been a while since you've took the self-sabotage quiz, it's okay, go back and read it. Print it off, take it again. And if you have slipped up, that's another good time to go back and think, has my mindset changed? Do I need to, as they used to tell us in school, get my thinking cap on straight? So the self-sabotage quiz, absolutely free. See, free. I strongly encourage you to check into that. Another, I've got like some of my favorite printables here. A home remedy to lose weight. If I told you I had a home remedy to lose weight, everybody's going to want it. Well, there's a printable on the Holy Mess, and you can see what it is. Create a routine. Plan your meals. Keep a food log. It doesn't matter if you do it on your phone, if you do it with a pencil and paper, whatever. Try to learn to maintain your current weight. Eat, it says east, but eat healthy and have a few treats. Move every day. And of course we believe in prayer here. So that's the home remedy to lose weight. This helps us get back on track, especially after the holidays. If I look at the past 2 or 3 weeks, my daily routine has been all over the place. And everybody else, I mean, there was like 2 full weeks. I didn't even know what day it was. Me and Randy every day would say, do you know what day it is? Well, I think it's like Tuesday, isn't it? No, we already had Tuesday. It's like Thursday. So that same thing, establish a routine. Now, when I was first new to Weight Watchers, that was one of the things I did first. One of my first exercises was I got up and made my bed and got dressed. Now that sounds so simple. But I found, and I love sitting around in my pajamas, and these girls on here that know me know I have pajama days when I say, I've been in my pajamas all day. But if I want to be productive, like get something done in the house, I have to get up and get dressed after I sit in my pajamas and have coffee. Always that. This is another one, your healthy relationship with food. This is when you get ready to dive really deep into your behaviors. And so got our triangle, or during the sleigh, our Christmas tree, about learning safe eating, how to get back on track, a yes zone, getting up into our thoughts. this is a wonderful resource. So your healthy relationship with food, and like I said, I'm a big advocate of take one small step in the right direction and just think about that thing. So say you've been slacking off your water, say this week I'm going to work on getting in more water. Now, how am I going to go about that? We have an idea, then we have to have a plan. So there's a free tracker here if you want to print this off, and say your weekly goal is to track your food every day. Write that in. Log my food and mark off every day that you've done it, and it goes through 10 weeks. Say you want to, what's a healthy habit? Include vegetables at 2 meals a day, or have 1 cup of raw vegetables every day. Whatever it is you choose, work on it. And if you work on it a couple of weeks and you get good at it, change it and change to another healthy habit. And we learn habit stacking. So if you told me that at some point in my life I would do everything that I do now, I would have laughed and said, no, I won't. But one small change at a time. And now it's just my life. It's just daily. Another thing that causes us to fail is relying on willpower. There's no such thing as willpower, I don't think. You know, if you say you have a lot of willpower, now my husband says I'm just full on stubborn, maybe, but it doesn't have so much to do with willpower as it does to do with commitment. And today, I'm going to choose better for myself. And you know what? I told people, and I still tell people, when I couldn't take it one day at a time, I took it one meal at a time, and I mean that. I don't even want to think about supper. Right now, I have to focus on fixing my lunch and eating a healthy lunch, and then I'll think about supper later. And that's how I started out. That's where I started. And when I couldn't think about one meal, I focused on that bite. Okay, right now I'm eating a baked potato, and it's not swimming in all the stuff that makes a potato unhealthy. I'm just going to focus on this bite. So if you can't look at 5 weeks, look at today. If you can't look at today, look at breakfast. Look at lunch. And if you can't look at lunch, just focus on that one bite that you're putting in your mouth at a time. Being consistent is important. Support. We'll talk more about this another time. You need support. I know not everybody in your household will support you. I know that. I live with other people. I live with my husband, and 2 other grown adults live in this house. And I don't expect them to eat like I eat. They eat the way they eat. They make their food choices, and I make mine. Now, tonight, for instance, I baked some chicken in the oven, and I have broccoli and baked potatoes. I had been gone out today. I had to go to the doctor. I'd done grocery shopping. I was doing a really quick meal. So that's what I chose for tonight. I had the frozen vegetables, had potatoes, just microwave. By the time I got all that microwave, my chicken had done and baked because it was just boneless tenders. So out of that, my husband will eat every single thing. But he will put butter and cheese on his potato, and he will put cheese on his broccoli. And that's okay. That's his choice. I will have mine with, I can't believe it's not butter spray. And sometimes I put cheese on my potato. Sometimes I make a loaded potato. So that's how we do it in this house. If I'm cooking Brussels sprouts, my husband, I'll get mine out. Or if he's cooked, if he's making mashed potatoes, I'll say, hey, wait, let me get my potatoes out before you mash them. That is support. It's maybe not how it looks normally, but that's support. We will support you. This is the absolute best group I have ever been a part of. Most supportive, most kind, most loving. And I seen one of the girls in the Slay the Scale challenge that said they had never seen a bad comment on these groups, the Holy Mess groups. And, you know, we're here to support each other. You know, I'm the first one to get on and say, I don't know what to do. I've got this coming up. Oh, hi, Aaliyah. It is amazing. And to learn to forgive myself and to say, I messed up. You know, if for everything else in my life, I learned to forgive myself for. If, like one time, like I can be really dingy sometimes and really scatterbrained. And one time, I backed my van into my husband's car in our yard and broke the back glass out of my van and dented his driver's side door so bad that he couldn't open or close it in our yard. And once I got through hysterically laughing, because how do you back two of your own vehicles together in your own yard? I didn't beat myself up over it. I laughed and thought, well, that's going to cost me a lot of money. Randy didn't find it near as funny as I did, but he got over it too, and now we laugh at it about the time I wrecked both of our cars at one time. I forgave myself for that. So why can't I forgive myself because I said I was going to eat one cookie and I ate 3 cookies? I can, and I need to. I need to extend that grace on over into eating. Don't focus solely on the scale. The scale is an indicator of how you're doing. That's all. Taped on my scale is a Holy Mess affirmation I learned 2 years ago. My worth is not my weight. And that reminds me, when I weigh and I'm up 1/3 of a pound, so what? My body will fluctuate. I will not weigh the same thing every single day of my life. And I will not lose weight every single day of my life. So, you know, extend grace and forgiveness to yourself. And think about your mental health along the way. I learned to take care of me. You know, most of us women, we're natural caregivers. We have nurtured children or grandchildren or important people in our lives, parents, neighbors. We're caregivers. And I learned I could not pour from an empty cup. I had to, at some point, fill my cup back up. So I learned to do nice things for me and learn what that meant and how to be kind to me. And you know what? One of the kindest things I learned for myself was to give myself grace. And I like to get my nails done. That's my kindness to me. So for our crumbs from the table, if you're new here, every Tuesday evening when we get done talking about healthy living and healthy lifestyle choices, we drop a little crumb from God's table. So our crumbs from the table. Hi, Leanna. Yeah, we'll have always a replay available. The verse that kept coming to me and talking about getting started and how do you stay with it and how do you keep your motivation up and going. Hi, Paula. I'm proud you're back tonight, too. Good to have you. It comes from Joshua 24. And as soon as I open my mouth, you're going to say, oh, I know that verse. And I'm just going to quote or read part of it. Choose you this day whom you will serve. I don't even need my Bible for this one. Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Okay, that's a verse in the Bible. And that's one thing that's been really key in helping me is taking scripture and applying it to my weight loss journey. So how in the world does that apply? Hey, Carla, how'd the ball game go? Hope your granddaughter won. I've learned to take scripture and apply them to my weight loss journey. So how does that apply to weight loss journey? Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. That's a scripture. What in the world does that have to do with weight loss? Reframe it in my mind. Choose this day what you're going to eat. Are you going to choose to eat healthful and eat foods that bring health and life to you? Or are you going to choose to eat foods that make you feel bad, that make you gain weight, that make you feel shame? Choose. What are you going to do today? Because I'm going to eat. So am I going to choose to serve food? Or am I going to choose to take care of myself. And so many years I spent, and I say wasted, serving food. And I'm not talking about here you want to roll. I'm talking about food was the first thought when my eyes opened. Yes, we do have to be healthy to serve. Yes. My eyes opened, I thought about food. Food consumed all of my thoughts. And they call that, now that has a name. I didn't know that had a name. That's called food noise. And it's a real thing. Food noise is a real thing. Now that I know what to call it, I can address it now. So choose today. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing the same thing you've done that got you where you are now? Or are you going to choose something different? Are you going to serve food? Or are you going to let food serve your body and nourish your body and do all the good things food does for our body? So that was my crumb from the table. Choose today and choose tomorrow and the next day. You don't have to live in July. We're in January. So choose today. What are you going to do? What are you going to eat? What are you going to do to make it a little bit better than yesterday? And if you don't hit your mark, what are you going to do? You're going to extend grace to yourself. Join the 3-day challenge. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I love doing Holy Mess challenges. If there was one going continually, I would be there at every one of them. Love them. Carla says she spent so much time shoving stuff in before. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Enough is your word for 2025. I like that. You know what, Carla? I had never had a tattoo in my whole life because I was a Baptist preacher's daughter and Daddy would have killed me. Anyway, when I got to go, and also my husband said I could never, ever, 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 ever have a tattoo. Well, he said, I don't know why you even told me you was going to. I know you're going to do what you're going to do anyway. I had the word enough tattooed on my wrist. And to me, it means I am enough, and it reminds me when I've had enough. So it's important to me. Most people don't even see it because my watch band's usually over it, but I know it's there. And I look down, and I am enough. You are enough, just like you are, just where you are. I'll have to tell you about my second one later, Terry. Anyway, I digress. All my love to every single one of you. And if you're watching this for the first time, welcome home. That's all I can say. Welcome home. We are your people, and if you can't catch the live, there's always a replay. And reach out. These ladies in here are wonderful, and we all want the best for each other. And if you can't find a way to give yourself grace, somebody will jump in here and say, it's okay. You're good. Mwah. Bye-bye, everybody. Talk to you next time.